everyone? My name is Jamal McKinney, or you can just call me Juice because that is my nickname. So today I'm going to answer the question, how many points would Michael Jordan average per game in today's NBA? You know, the Last Dance series was on last week. It ended officially. The last, 2 episodes happened last Sunday. I had a great time watching the documentary, especially with not a whole lot of sports going on right now. I think that it was a breath of fresh air, not only for NBA fans, but just sports fans in general. We really got a chance to see how great Michael Jordan was as an individual player. The documentary did a lot of great things as far as going into detail about his career. But it got me wondering, how would Michael Jordan fare in today's NBA, and how many points could Michael Jordan average in today's NBA? So we'll talk about it. Now, I personally think that Michael Jordan is one of the 3 greatest scorers to ever play the game of basketball. He's one of the 3 best scorers ever. It's Kevin Durant, it's Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jeffrey Jordan. However, whatever order you want to put those 3 players in, I don't care, quite frankly. I think Durant is the most talented out of the 3. Kobe Bryant was very relentless. I think that he could get the hottest out of the 3. And Michael Jordan, he combines efficiency, talent, and getting hot as well. So whatever order you want to put those 3 in, that's fine. I don't care. But how many points could Michael Jordan average in today's NBA? I would say that Michael Jordan could average at least 40 points in today's NBA if he wanted to, and I will tell you why. The bottom line is that this is a much softer era of NBA basketball as compared to what Michael Jordan had to endure, when he played in the 80s and the 90s, okay? The NBA today is more friendly towards offense. Back in the 90s and 80s, a lot of those games were scored in the 80s, 90s, and every once in a while, you get some 100-point games, okay? But a lot of teams were scoring in the mid-80s, low 90s, high 90s. The basic scores were 92 to 87, stuff like that. So scoring is a much higher rate in today's NBA. I think that would aid Michael Jordan. And let's be real. Is defense even played at a high level today? I don't think so. Kawhi Leonard, great defender, one of the best defenders of all time. Kawhi Leonard, every single night, is not playing defense at a high level. Okay, he's not always guarding the best player in an 82-game regular season. LeBron James stopped playing defense a couple years ago. And I like Rudy Gobert. I like Marc Gasol a lot. Those are 2 really good defenders in their prime. But that's really what you're getting as far as rim protectors, quote-unquote, in today's NBA. Oh, I'm supposed to be so scared of Rudy Gobert and Marc Gasol. Do they strike fear in me? I don't think so. So, throughout an 82-game regular season, the attention to detail and lack of effort on defense is just not there, okay? And like I said, the physicality is not there either. You would have to really, really, honestly, commit robbery on someone and honestly punch them in the face to get a flagrant foul back in the 80s and the 90s. Today, in today's NBA, all of the superstars get the ticky-tacky calls. The game is not very physical. People are not fouling you very hard. You could literally, foul someone by just passing, your breath on them. You could literally breathe on someone and it'd be called a foul. And let's be real, most teams play lackluster defense 90% of the time during the regular season. I understand there are better athletes in today's NBA. I understand that teams at times will switch more defenders and throw more bodies at you, but the defense just is not there. Michael Jordan dominated in a great defensive era. Michael Jordan has won 10 scoring titles. He's got the highest points per game average of any player ever. He's the all-time leader as far as points per game goes, as far as average, okay? He's averaging a little bit over 30 points for his career. He also did it very efficiently. Michael Jordan shot almost 50% for his career. He's at 49.7%, and that includes his Washington Wizards days. So 2 seasons in which Michael Jordan was a watered-down watch player, his efficiency obviously was going to go down, and he was not the same player. So that includes those years. So pretty much throughout his entire career, he's shooting around 50 to 51%. So he's a more efficient player than most of today's NBA superstars. And James Harden is averaging 36.1 points per game in today's NBA. Last year, that's the amount of points he scored, in a season. That's the highest points per game he scored in a season, okay? 36.1 points per game. Michael Jordan is much more efficient than James Harden. So what does that mean? He's going to make more shots. Michael Jordan does not take as many three-pointers as James Harden. James Harden at times takes inefficient shots. And I'm not knocking James Harden. He's one of the greatest players to ever play. I hope he wins a championship to solidify his legacy. But either way, Michael Jordan just likes to get to a spot, shoot those mid-range shots. He just is not going to be as inefficient as James Harden. I'm not saying James Harden is not an efficient player, but James Harden is shooting around 43 to 45% from the field. Michael Jordan around 49 to 50% from the field, okay? So that's one thing. Michael Jordan also drives to the basket a lot. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm sorry, Rudy Gobert and a prime Marc Gasol are not blocking Michael Jordan's shots. They're not affecting Michael Jordan at the rim. He's one of the best finishers at the rim of all time. He can play above the rim. He's one of the best athletes ever. That vertical jump is lethal. And as I mentioned earlier, superstars get all the calls in today's NBA. Like I said, Michael Jordan would have no issues getting to the free throw line. And Michael Jordan is a pretty darn good free throw shooter. Shot around 83 to 85% from the free throw line throughout his entire career. Not to mention, I haven't even gotten to the evolution of the three ball in today's NBA. Back in the 80s and the 90s, the three-point shot was just not a shot that a lot of NBA players took. It just was not a part of most NBA offenses. But with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant changing the game of basketball, the three-point shot is a big emphasis in today's NBA. Michael Jordan is a hard worker. He's a great adapter. He would have made himself into a pretty darn good three-point shooter. I'm not saying he's going to be Steph Curry, not saying he's going to be Klay Thompson, but I do think that Michael Jordan, to a certain degree, could at least be an adequate three-point shooter. In fact, Michael Jordan in 1996 and 1997, when the three-point shot was starting to be more implemented into NBA offenses at that time, he shot 42.7% from three in 1996 and 37% in 1997. So Michael Jordan has shown the capacity to at least be an adequate three-point shooter. So with all of those things being said, I do think that Michael Jordan could average in the low 40s. I don't think that he could average 50 points per game. Averaging 50 points per game is way too high of a number. It is an unrealistic expectation, but I could see Michael Jordan at some point, if he wanted to, averaging around 40 points per game to about 42 points per game. I say low 40s. I think Michael Jordan could average 40 points per game in today's NBA if he wanted to. But my question is, would Michael Jordan actually want to do that? Would he actually put in the effort to do it? Because a lot of superstars in today's NBA, they tend to rest their bodies during the regular season. LeBron James has said in the past that he kind of coasts in the regular season. After Kevin Durant won his first ever NBA MVP, he stopped winning scoring titles. He said that I'd rather, save my energy for the postseason. Kevin Durant could easily average around 35 to 36 points per game if he wanted to, but he paces himself during the regular season. He's not like James Harden and Russell Westbrook going 100 miles an hour throughout the entire regular season. He at least tries to preserve his body for the playoffs. So my question is, with Michael Jordan's competitive spirit, would he put in all that effort to score a bunch of points every single night with Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, and John Wall and Kyrie Irving having the ability to respond with a 40-piece themselves each night coming back at you? See, the thing about Michael Jordan's era in the 90s and 80s, I'm not trying to poo-poo on that era, but the talent level in the NBA right now is at an all-time high. Everyone is good. The talent level was not as high when Michael Jordan played as it is in today's NBA as far as athletic freaks go, okay? So there would be some point guards that could give Michael Jordan a run for his money each night and drop 35 to 40 points if they wanted to potentially on him. They could respond. They could clap back. So I wonder if Michael Jordan will always be willing to spend that energy. I don't know. I think that at times he would maybe coast. And also, Michael Jordan early in his career scored a lot of points. And guess what? He wasn't winning titles. Now, I will say back then, when he was scoring a bunch of points and getting knocked out of the playoffs by the Pistons, he did not have a great supporting cast around him. Once he got Scottie Pippen, he took that and ran with it, okay? Once he got the one All-Star, in his prime to work with, Michael Jordan did not stop winning titles. So I understand that he didn't have the great supporting cast. But once Phil Jackson got to the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan had to sacrifice a couple points per game to inclement himself into the triangle offense. He had to defer to his teammates. He had to find ways to facilitate better and just pass up the rock and trust his teammates. Would Michael Jordan be willing to do that in today's NBA? I think he would, honestly. I think that Michael Jordan would make the necessary adjustments. My only thing is, will we ever see him average 40 points per game? Because, honestly, I don't know if he would be willing to spend all that energy every single night to just go at you. I think that he eventually would realize that he needs to save a little bit of his energy for the playoffs. And I think that he would coast a little bit. I can see Michael Jordan averaging around 30 to 35 points consistently some years. But you have to realize something. 40 points per game is a lot of points. I don't care what anyone says. So I don't know if Michael Jordan would force himself to do that, but if he wanted to, yeah, he definitely could average 40 points per game if he wanted to. The only question is, would he actually do it? Not so sure. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you got to say in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.